Hello and welcome back to another episode of 33 Conversations. This is the podcast where we talk to mission-driven founders, people that are building things to make the world a better place. And we're talking about the lifestyle, the life, what's really going on, the human side of people that are building these amazing things in the world. And we're continuing that conversation today with my guest, Tiffany. Welcome, Tiffany. How are you? Welcome to the pod.
Thank you, Michael. I'm doing great. Happy to be here. And again, thank you for asking me to be here. It's a real pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have you on, because when we were talking on our pre-call, we started talking about some things that I've dealt with before, talking about, being a vegetarian, vegan, like what that looks like, how hard that is to get into, into life, how to change our behaviors and life, how it's all sort of set up to support something that you want to try to embody in your life. I know I've done it a ton of times, different levels of success. I think the longest that I made it was like 5 years, but I'm excited to hear your story and how this all started. But just a little bit about yourself, like how you kind of got to this where you're at right now, and we'll kind of like take off from there. And what you're in the middle of right now, actually. Like everybody's always, especially right now, there's so much in the world that's transforming. And inside of that, at the same time, there's people having these just astounding ideas that make it a really exciting conversations I get to have every day. So I can't wait to hear yours.
Yeah, for sure. And so where I am right now, so I built this marketplace, which is a curated vegan and cruelty-free marketplace named Not to Die For, because no one needs to die for those products to be here in this shop. And where I'm at right now, it's building it, but it is built. It's been online for the past 2 years, but it's an ongoing process because there are new products every day. So they need to be curated, make sure that the ingredients are really vegan, that they don't test on animals. So it is an ongoing process, and that's where I am at right now. And we have many categories there, like household, personal care items, makeup. Like there are a lot of different categories. Well, we recently added books with recipes, like lifestyle items. So it is an ongoing process, and that's where I am at right now.
Yeah, so it's like not just taking the idea of like, okay, I'm not going to be eating meat anymore, but it's like, no, it's like an entire, where is this in my whole life, in my space? Like,
so actually that's when it started, right? Like it started because I went vegan, and the food part for me personally, it's different for everyone, but for me it was very easy. But when it came down to soaps, shampoo, even laundry detergent, and things that I wouldn't have never imagined that are not vegan or that they test on animals. So that's where I was like, oh, that was the hard part, because I had to understand a lot of new ingredients, understand what those mean. And that's when I started curating them, because I thought that it would be useful for most newly vegans to have all the products in one place that are already, that they know that they can purchase worry-free, knowing that they are both vegan and cruelty-free. So that's why it originated, to make living easier for vegans, right?
yes, because it's the world, the systems are not set up for it. So it's possible, but it's a lot of walking over, creating new habits, learning new things, time, like the time that you're taking to curate this, to create this, is the value that most people don't have because they're too busy in whatever they've got going on at the time.
Yeah.
So how did this, were you always vegetarian or vegan? Like how did it first occur to you? Because I know we talked, it wasn't really necessarily about, it was something different. It was something not like what most people think, ooh, I don't want to eat meat anymore. But this was different for you, right?
Yeah, it was a very slow process, honestly. Like I started like questioning myself like long time ago, but I went vegan 5 years ago. It started, I had friends that were vegan, and at first I was like, why those weirdos, like why would they do that? But then the more I started to question myself and understand the reasons why it made sense for them to go vegan, then I started realizing that it was a good thing for me to go vegan too, so that because it would mean that I would align with my values. Like from what I learned, it was like, okay, this is not what I want in terms of values, what I find ethical, basically.
Yes.
And that's when I wanted to, align the things that I do with the things that I believe. So that's what made me go vegan.
Yeah, and we're in a really interesting space. So like, I know a lot of folks when they think about it, and like it creates this energy of, oh, you're better than, you don't. No. There's a thing with that. There is like how people. It's just the people that don't like anything that's different, Yeah. So it's like it's hard to. It's just a way of being that we get with each other, but it's like it is a stop for a lot of people to break out of the herd, break out of the tribe mentality that's telling you to do X, even though your values. So the value, like, that's not a moral thing, right? It is how did your value and what's value mean to you, I think is a really important thing to hear.
Yeah, that's true.
Your take on it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone has a different take on like what they value. For me, it was like I wanted to be consistent, and like if I didn't want to hurt anyone especially with where I was putting my money. So that's pretty much what made me kind of vote. I believe that you vote with your money. So, and in every purchase that you make, you're voting for more products like that to be made, basically. So I was like, okay, I'm going to vote for like a plant-based diet, or like instead of buying lipstick that was tested on animals or has animal ingredients on them, I'm going to vote for brands to build more products that are not animal tested, which, today is very easy to do that. It's not like animals need to be tested on. There are a lot of new brands every day with a lot of great options. So
you always wonder about the labels. Like everything has cruelty-free on it right now, but does that really mean anything? Is there a standard for? Yeah, that's what see, right? Like, how are we supposed to know?
Well, like, that's another thing that I curate. Like whenever I analyze a product, it's not only, it has the cruelty-free label. That doesn't really mean a lot, because maybe they can legally say that, but at the same time, they can test on animals on China or somewhere else, and they are animal tested. So there are a lot of legal loopholes that make brands be able to say they are vegan, they are cruelty-free. Not vegan. Vegan is harder for them to do that without, being punished. But the cruelty-free statement, everyone can do that statement. So it's worth analyzing not only the ingredients, but also to track down the brand, what they do when they make the product.
How do you even find that stuff out? Is it just public information? It's like, yeah, like how does one know? Like because I'm sure they hide it, and I know there's loopholes, and there's also the part like where we don't want to really look, because if you did, it would be, I notice people on the internet now, like one of the guys I follow, he's actually really, really cool. His name's Ian Carroll. He who he is? Like the guy that he takes all the products on the shelf, like that's on an aisle in a grocery store, and goes, how many of these are owned by different people? And it's basically the entire 14,000 different baby foods, all owned by one person and one thing. And it just really boggles your mind to like, why would one company go and create and make it look like there's 40,000 different variations of the same thing made by the same people?
Yeah.
And like, But every once in a while, he finds a Lone Ranger in that shelf that somehow made it. That's like solo founder owned, still family owned. And it's like, they're like the rock star heroes. That's the sense that I get from you, is that you're finding these like needles in the haystacks to start that ball rolling. Yeah. So what do people find like?
But no, yeah, sorry, but I want to clarify, but that there are some. So anyone can say their product is cruelty-free, but at the same time, there are some institutions that can certify with their like special label. So that kind of label is more trustworthy, like the Lapi Bani one. There are like several ones. So those are the ones that we should check, not just cruelty-free and done.
Yeah, just dig a little bit deeper, or just go to what you're creating.
Too specific. Yeah. Also,
so
that's a good idea.
It's great to think about this in life, like in our homes, in our spaces. Because I'm like real weird about like I don't like chemicals around me, or even my mom and I, she makes this little like cleaner out of just like homemade products and stuff with essential oils and whatever. It is so funny, but it actually works. It's really good. It smells great, but there's no, we just kind of make it fun. But you're talking about a scale which I don't think most people actually take the time to like even comprehend what we're just mindlessly putting on us and around us in our spaces that affect us, our animals, and all the stuff. So how can somebody listening to this that is like, oh wow, this is like, I never thought about it like this. How do they find you, first of all?
Yeah, the website is nottodiefor.us, and there you can find all the curated products, and also on Instagram, it's not to die for, but with dots, not .to.die.for, and same with TikTok.
I will put both of those in there. So what's something like in the description that follows everything, but like what's one thing that somebody that's thinking about this can start to mentally start to prepare themselves for? Because you were talking about something that's really deep behavioral shifts, and that doesn't happen it barely happens through a want. So
yeah, 100%.
So how did somebody get past all of these barriers?
Yeah, the main tip that works for me, and is the one that I tell everyone that asks, I tell them to start following accounts that are related to what they want to do. If they want to get to know more about cruelty-free products, then start following influencers or Instagram accounts or TikTok accounts that talk about that, so that you get to learn all of the things that you are like looking forward to learn. And also, if you are convinced, so for veganism, it's very common that since the whole environment is not vegan, even though you might want to do that, it's easy to say like, oh, you know what, I'll go back. So by having a community, whether that's online or offline, it helps to like keep you focused on what you want, right? To follow not only cruelty-free accounts, but also vegan accounts, so that you keep on learning, and you get to learn recipes. You get to remember the reason why you want to make that shift, if you want to make that shift.
Yeah, because what is that why for you? Like, what benefits do you now have that you didn't have before?
The main benefit for me is just being aligned with my values. That's the main one. I know that there are a lot of people that say like, oh, my health is better. Honestly, for me, it pretty much remained the same. I didn't see anything weird health-wise, but there are a lot of people who are like, it was not great for my health. That's also valid. Not my case either. But for me, it was just a matter of being aligned with my values.
And what did that give you? Can you discern tangible things? Because I am 100,000% behind you. When you're in alignment, everything works.
Yeah.
The universe supports you in a different way that it's like, here's what you need, here's what you need, here's what you need. You know, that's from, well, it's from my experience too, but it's also like, that's what all the texts say. That's what all the trainings say. That's what all of everything points to that, but you're like a living example of it. What's the wave of energy that comes back knowing that you're doing this, being in alignment? How does that show up?
Yeah, I think it's mainly kind of a sense of peace, because before that, when I kind of knew that was my value, but I wasn't doing it, I was being like, there was a contradiction within myself, right? Like it's so,
Yeah.
now being aligned, it's kind of more peaceful, and I don't have that in my head all the time like I used to. But I think it varies from person to person. It's not everyone reacts the same.
So it's like your nervous system's at peace.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That's kind of like what we're like. That's as simple as that is. It's really profound to create a life that supports your nervous system being in a certain state all of the time. So you're not trying to protect yourself from, because I get it, there's an energy component that a lot of people don't qualify as value. So that's really why I wanted to make sure that and it's the first thing to kind of go off the radar, is that's just the way it is. But like most people don't live in alignment. They live in conflict that they don't know how to get out of. They live in fear because they don't know what's coming next. It creates an anxiousness in the body. And studies have shown when you do eat meat, that energy of that is in there. And that transfers, like it's all one. There's no real denying it. There's physical studies about what meat does to your system. Like, so, but it's not that meat is bad. And that's the angle, I think, that so many people trying to showcase meat, not eating meat. I've been in both scenarios. It is something deeper that you're tapping into that I have never heard anybody else tap into, the actual lifestyle. So where it was more than just me, I'm eating meat for this reason or that reason. You're like, can't really tell on that level, but on this level, this lane where I'm in alignment, things are smoother, and most people would pay bazillions of dollars to have that experience of life.
Yeah.
So what is some of your feedback from people that use what you have created, the platform that you have created? What is some of the feedback that you hear? I bet that's a lot, right?
Yeah, honestly, most of them are like very good comments. The brand went viral a few times on TikTok, so during those moments, a lot of people commented, and they were all very nice comments. There are also like the haters, but it's okay.
Yeah.
They help boost the algorithm, so I'm not mad at them. But no, usually people are happy, like, oh, this is super helpful, or like happy, like even non-vegans are like, oh, this is great because I'd like to kind of decrease my animal consumption. So honestly, it's been nice in terms of like the feedback from the people.
I love it. Has it sparked any new ideas, any new ways to evolve or take what you're doing to the next level for 2026? Is there something that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to adding more products and adding more categories. For the moment, we have 5 categories, but the idea is to add more with more products, more variety. And the more brands out there that, create vegan and cruelty-free products, the more products we'll be able to add. So that's a goal, right? To make like a mini vegan and cruelty-free Amazon. That would be the main goal.
Oh, would you say cruelty-free Amazon?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, like we'll stop tearing down the Amazon and have a cruelty-free one. Yeah, at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. That would be nice.
Yes, because that's tearing that down for Clear land for meat. Yeah, for cattle. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy times that we live in. But you're making a mark. But there was a time where you were not doing this. So the store's been open for 2 years. How long did it take from like a thought to turning it on? How long of time did that take?
Let's see. Honestly, a few months, because it's like this. My story is like, I'm a digital marketer. I actually have a digital marketing agency, and I see firsthand like how me and my team can help different brands to sell products or sell experiences, whatever we are selling. So when I went vegan, I was like, okay, what if instead of selling I don't want to name anything because I don't want to
it's okay. It's okay. X product.
X product, exactly.
Yes.
Why not selling like products that are like more like eco-friendly and cruelty-free? So that's when the idea came up, and well, like mentioned before, started curating products and built the e-commerce with the help of my team as well.
So you just like one thing led right to the next step because you already had that eye and you could see what was happening. Okay. So if somebody's out there, what can we share with them about something that they want to move into alignment with, but somehow they just haven't taken a step or an action? Like what advice would you have for them? You know, at the beginning of next year when the holidays are over and they're ready to kick it for next year, what would you have for them if they wanted to lean into that?
To lean into veganism or just whatever?
Lean into whatever their veganism solution is. Or if they want to lean into moving what's in integrity for you is not like moving integrity for what is it that for them.
Yes. I think the hardest part is to find what you value, right? Like to understand your values. And once you have that, I feel like it's kind of natural, and depending on your skills and what your experience and what what it's easy for you, then it will be natural for them to like go to the next step. Like I feel like for me, for example, since I'm a digital marketer, it was like, okay, I'm going to do the same thing, but with products that I'm more aligned with. So I feel like for me, it was very natural, that course of action. But it will vary from person to person. I'm not going to recommend everyone like, oh, build your e-commerce for whatever you value, because it won't be as natural for them, for example.
Wherever they're at is the perfect place that, just like your life led you to that next step, a lot of people are just really scared to take that step, you know? Whatever their life is prepared them what that next alignment is for them. But sometimes the scariest thing in the world is to align with your true power. And that happens and it catches. The thing we're scared of the most is what we're able to accomplish. Yeah. Because we wouldn't use our stories anymore. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. No, I think that something important is that you don't need to like throw your old life away or something like that. Yeah, you can start little by little, because I feel like many have like this fear, because it's like, oh, I have to resign or my current job, or I have to move, I have to do this and that. Like you can start baby steps. You don't need to like go from 0 to 100.
Yeah, it's true. That's absolutely true. Baby steps. And now over the next couple of weeks, maybe somebody will take some baby steps.
Maybe.
Although your episode won't come out to the beginning of next year, so they will have it to inspire them in 2026.
That's great.
But I appreciate your energy and sharing your journey with us. Not from a noble standpoint, but I mean, it really takes courage just to be in alignment with your values and know what they are. And a lot of people are like, how do I even find a value? Well, it's the stuff that you love. And if you don't know what you love, look around in your life. Look around. Yeah, you look around in your life and find out the things that you don't like. Flip it.
Yeah.
That's your values. That's your value. Yeah. That's taking a baby step too. So it's a lot of people don't even know how to get a whiff of it, but it's either like you already know it's something that you like, pull through, resonate with. But if you don't, it's the opposite of the stuff that's bugging you in your life. So it's right there, whether you want to see it or not. But I appreciate your journey and sharing your story and store with us. And so I'll put all that information in below. And thank you for having that conversation with us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael. It's been a pleasure.
You're so welcome.
Again for having me.
Thank you for being here. Everybody have a great conversations with somebody that you love in your life about what you value. Talk about it. It might be a little weird at the beginning, but it's fun to get to know people on a deeper level and create more meaningful connections. And you do that one conversation at a time. And we're going to see you on the next one. Bye, guys.